Hey everyone, in this video, we are going to break down Brez Skills program funnel and why it ultimately kind of failed. Now, this breakdown will give you a clear view of how I analyze funnels on the backend from structure to flow to monetization logic. So without further ado, let's get into it. So as we can see here, right over here on the landing page, the most important elements we want to focus on are the headline, subheadline, the video sales letter, and the call to action. As you can see, he's using a total of 3 different call to action buttons here. So once you join the free program, you are redirected to his post sign up page. From there, the funnel encourages you to join his WhatsApp group, which is right over here, and check your inbox to receive your ticket. The real reason behind checking your inbox isn't the ticket itself. It is to verify that you're a real person and not a bot, and that you're actually registered for the free live event. But in reality, the moment you submit your information, you're immediately entered into email nurture sequence designed to warm you up before the event. During the live event, he ran a total of 3 episodes. Okay, so this is the welcome email once you basically sign up for his free live event. And like I said, the real purpose of this is to make sure that you are not a bot and you're a real person to basically attend to his live event. Now, this is the email one, the follow-up, which is where the nurture sequence begins. The moment you submit the form, the system captures your information and immediately initiates the nurture sequence. From that point forward, you are entered into a structured email flow designed to build trust, maintain engagement, and start marketing to you in a more personalized way. Now, this is what it looks like. He sent a total of 6 email sequence before the event. The event took place from September 15th to September 17th, 2025. In the lead up, he sent a total of 6 value-packed emails, none of which directly promoted to the event itself. The purpose behind this was clear: to keep his leads engaged, build anticipation, and deliver genuine value before asking for anything in return. This is a smart strategy commonly used in webinars and seminars because it not only warms up the audience but also positions the sender as a trusted authority. So for the episode 1, he basically threw in some 2 days reminder before the event email, a day reminder before the event email, and a 4-hour reminder before the event take place, an hour reminder before the event take place, the actual email notifying all registrants that the live has started. A 15-minute catch-up reminder. This is where he basically notifies all the registrants to make sure that everyone is tuned in. Okay, so and then obviously once the episode 1 has ended, he basically ended up with a follow-up reminder after the event. So the flow goes like this: episode 1, 2 days reminder before the event, a day reminder before the event, and then the actual day of the event, he basically threw in some 5 total emails. 4-hour reminder before the event take place, an hour reminder before the event take place, live start reminder, 15-minute catch-up reminder, and episode 1 ended up follow-up reminder. Now, as soon as episode 1 ends, a follow-up email is sent out. The purpose is twofold. First, to recap the key value from the session, so attendees feel rewarded for showing up. And second, to remind them that they can still tune in for episode 2. This keeps the momentum going, reduces drop-off, and builds anticipation for what's coming next. Now, let's go over here and basically break down the episode 2. So in episode 2, he just sent a total 3 emails, which is 2-hour reminder before the event take place, live started reminder, and episode 2, which is ended up a follow-up reminder. And like I said, as soon as the episode 2 ends, a follow-up email is sent out. The purpose again is twofold. First, to recap the key value from the session, and to remind them that they can still tune in for the last episode, which is episode number 3. This is where it all kind of goes wrong because they have a error in their system. Their emails are not in a chronological order. So what I mean by that is that it is not fully right structured. And like I said, no hate on Brez, this is what it just looks like when we signed up. So the first email that he sent out on the episode 3 is basically the last follow-up reminder before the video takes down, which does not make any more sense because why would you post a post-event email when you haven't even started the event itself, right? And as we can see here, these were sent in a chronological order, like I said, but the flow is just not right. So here, the first email, 2:43 a.m. my time. Then the second email was 3:09 a.m. Sorry, and then the third email, 3:32 a.m. Here, 3:36 a.m., 3:42 a.m., 3:48, and so on and so forth. So let's break this down. So this is the first email, last follow-up reminder before the event takes down. And then the second email was ended up with a follow-up reminder, which, like I said, they didn't even start the event in the first place. And then the live started reminder. And then here we have the value pitch again after 1 hour. 1 hour after, and then reminder before the event take place, which is, like I said, just so wrong. And then the last email was pitch the offer at the end of the event 15 minutes after. So the flow should go like this. First of all, reminder before the event take place, right? And then the second should be live started reminder, notifying everyone that they should, go ahead and join now because we are now live. So come on, tune in, right? And after episode 3, they should have follow up a email reminder for that, right? And then number 4 should be last follow-up reminder before the video takes down. And then the 5th email should be pitch the offer, the actual offer, which is at the end of the event, 15 minutes after. And then lastly, value pitch again 1 hour after, right? So that is how it kind of should flow. All right. So episode 3, it has 2, 4, 6 email, right? And here are just, and like I said, this is what it looks like, 6 emails basically. He threw in some value emails, including case studies along with the follow-up content to reinforce his offer. On top of that, he consistently sent reminders through WhatsApp. While the intention was to stay top of the mind and maintain engagement, the execution may have crossed a line. What could have been positioned as friendly reminders instead started to feel more like constant pressure, which risks coming across as spam rather than genuine value. So as we can see, these are just a sum of the emails he basically sent out after he pitched his offer to basically, like I said, to reinforce it. Now, Brez's constant messages on his group prove that he is affected by this and that this is a failed launch. I believe the reason why he will be going live again, which by the way he did, is because he realized that he needed to push the warm leads to make the decision by giving more value. Basically like a sneak peek. If I were in his shoe, I would do the same because he probably allocated a large sum of investment to make this work. And, and like I said, he was affected by this because he himself said that most of the people have left the group. He said, go ahead, give up. Most of the people in this chat already have. And the worst part is they have never even started. And a lot of proof of concept that he was actually affected by this. So now this is his VSL formula throughout the free live event. So basically, he basically touched the problem. So he makes sure that he introduces people's problem and then present the framework, which is the value he only gave, and then insight, which is touch more pain points, and then he will present the solution. Now, the reason why he touched more pain point is so that when you presented your offer or your product, you want to make sure that is the only solution to get rid of that pain. Now, the problem with freelancing, most freelancers struggle because they lack direction, treat it like a side hustle, and get stuck chasing low-paying clients, like yada yada yada. And then here, this is his framework for success. First of all, the vehicle, the right business model, skill, mastering a valuable result-oriented skill that makes you stand out, which the freelance branding that he's pitching, and then the environment, surrounding yourself with the right people. Now, I only do believe in his framework for success, which is the vehicle and the environment, but I do believe that there are other more skills that a lot of people can learn apart from freelance brand scaling. And then this is the insight that he basically gave, which is, to touch more pain points, and this is why most people fail. He basically covered that as well, and then he presented the solution, which is the Scale 2.0 that costs $997. In his live session, he explained that the reason his program carries a price tag is simple. People take it more seriously when they made a financial investment, and I agree with that. Okay, having money on the line creates accountability. Why? Because it's simple human psychology. Buyers take things seriously when they have something at stake. And again, I don't know if a lot of people see this, but when he pitched his offer, he basically updated his description to his free live event, saying that income and results disclaimer, that the outcomes vary widely and dependent on individuals' efforts, skills, market, and conditions. Okay, there's no guarantee of earnings or results. Now, you guys might be asking, how do you even know his program failed if you are not in his internal team in the first place, right? So, aside from constant push in WhatsApp group and negative criticism he received throughout the YouTube episode he published, about a month later, he launched a low-ticket offer called Bob hosted on ClickFunnels. And Bob, it stands for Brand Outreach Bible, a low-ticket offer. To be honest, this is such a wise move for him, because here's the thing, not a lot of people can launch a low-ticket offer, let alone a recurring one. Why? Because most of the time, in order to launch a low ticket offer, you must have a huge following. You either, first, if you have a low following, you need to have a super niche focused target audience, okay? And then if you have a mass following, that's where you can basically introduce these low ticket offers or monthly recurring communitization and whatnot, right? But if you have a low followers, what you can do is you can sell a high ticket offers that cost roughly about $1,000 upwards up to 5 or 10K. Right? So this is what the landing page looks like with that. This is the copy. And as we can see over here, he has a total of 2 products. Now, this one is the tripwire offer, and this is the core offer, which is the $97. And the total of this all is $124. And like I said, the $27 is just a tripwire offer. It is not the core offer. The core offer is the upsell, which is the $97. The reason why Brez presented it on the front page at only $27, it's because they kept their cost per acquisition benchmark at $27. So if you do the math, that is 3.6x on return on just one product, which means, in simple terms, Brez Scales is willing to spend $27 per customer just to get $70 profit. Does that make sense? In fact, all gurus that you know do this strategy. Okay, look at Alex Hermosi, the info goat, sold over $100 million in revenue sales from a $30 book. Without the book, he wouldn't able to upsell his upsells, nor downsell or cross-sell. It's all about understanding human mind. Because, do you think if you present a $3,000 offer in a landing page, people will just buy it from the landing page? No, right? That's why most of the time, if you go to a website that people sells info, they have a free discovery call or discovery page because they want to actually know if they can help this person or not, right? So again, you cannot sell a $3,000 offer just by off a landing page. Well, not unless you're Hermosi. But still, to pull off a $3,000 offer, you must position yourself right in this 3. Now, to wrap up this video, I'm going to rate Brez Scales' whole entire program funnel. Now, from the design standpoint, I will rate him 4 out of 5. The credit goes to his creative team. From the landing page, banners, and copy are visually impressive. The Y2K streetwear aesthetic, which is kind of like the gallery department vibes, fits well with his young, lavish personal brand. But the originality is lacking since the process feels borrowed, similar to Iman's approach. But still, from a design standpoint, like I said, it definitely stands out. And in fact, others notice it too. Take it from Jet. The marketing is genius, and this is similar to how Iman Gadzhi marketed himself, except Brez innovated it and took it to another level. So as you can see, over here, this is what the landing page looks like. He has the headline, subheadline, and the call to action. But the main thing, or the main reason why he doesn't have the VSL for the free ticket is very simple. It is because he already has a huge following. But once you sign up, you will be redirected to his first upsell page, which costs $97 for the VIP ticket. And the thing is, this has a headline, subheadline, the VSL, and the call to actions, which is right over here. And now, what's crazy about this is that when you didn't buy this, you will be downsell to his $47 product. But what's more even crazier is that once you bought this, once you bought the $97 VIP ticket, this is just a pre-qualification just to know if you are willing to basically spend more money for, $1,000 to $2,000 program that he will be creating or producing. And he will basically cross-sell to you this thing, okay? So, Not only that, okay, so not only you are being pre-qualified if you can afford to buy his $2,000 tier product, you're being cross-sold at $47, right? So this is just how sane it is and how the flow basically goes. And obviously, after all of those things, he will be redirected to his WhatsApp group so that he can announce and, do all of his stuff there and nurture you. Now, I would rate Brez Scales value 2 out of 5. This is where it falls short. There's little to no practical breakdown to how to run Facebook ads, on the live event, strategy tips, or actionable insights. Instead, you're mainly watching someone else's journey. While it can be motivating if you resonate with his lifestyle and his beginnings, it doesn't actually teach you skills or frameworks to replicate results that he had. And then the authenticity, I would rate him 2.5 out of 5. The messaging feels more like a polished marketing play than a genuine let me teach you effort. It leans heavily on lifestyle flexing and aspirational branding. It's just not outright, it's not outright fake, but it's clear that the goal is persuasion, not mentorship. The educational depth, it is super, super, like I said, it doesn't teach you anything, if I'm going to be honest. Okay, it's a very surface level. It's all about like flexing, lifestyle, and all of those stuff. So there isn't much structured knowledge on it. No deep dives, no clear systems, and no aha frameworks you can implement. For teens or beginners, it might be exciting, but for anyone serious about learning, it just feels hollow. Example, Sam Ovens and Charlie Morgan has a much more in-depth value given in their free YouTube channel, right? And the marketing strategy, I would definitely say 4.5 out of 5. Here's where he excels and his team, okay? The funnel, VSL, positioning, and brand are top-notch. He is the actual, okay? He is the living proof of if you market yourself well, even though you have a shitty product, people will buy from you. He clearly understands how to grab attention and create FOMO. From a pure marketing perspective, it's impressive and very effective on his target audience, young, impressionable viewers. Now, overall, I would rate him 2.5 out of 5. If I could change one thing, it would be this: provide actual value for free, because if you provide value, the money will follow. I'm 100% certain if he puts more effort on giving the value, a lot of things will believe in him and invest in him. Value comes first and the money will follow. Always remember, people will see your intentions. Not just motivation, not just lifestyle content, but real strategies people can use. The target audience, which is mostly teens, doesn't always realize this is marketing first and education second, right? So my advice to Brez, if Brez watching this, which probably he's not, but my advice is first give to the public a portion of your actual lesson that you recorded inside the program. Like a great example for this is Iman Ghazi, Sam Ovens, Charlie Morgan, and Joel Kaplan do this. So this is from his Kaizen course, and this is from Imperium Academy, and this one is for Sam Ovens Consulting.com business course. Okay, and then second is create long form educational content centered around his freelance brand scaling, which could go upwards up to 1 to 2 hours. This is the industry he not only entered, but essentially shaped from the ground up. In many ways, he is the genesis of why freelance brand scaling, also known as FBS model, exists today. Technically, he's the leader in this industry, right? And then third is to triple check internal operation systems, making sure that there will be no room for errors at all. Email marketing, video edits, camera alerts, etc., etc. Okay, so to wrap up, whether you agree with Brez or not, whether you love him or dislike him, one thing is undeniable: he is a skilled marketer who knows exactly what he is doing. From my perspective, it is clear that he understands how to capture attention, control traffic, and direct the conversation toward himself. This video is purely for educational purposes only, and no weight is intended toward Brez. Everything that I've shared here is based solely on my personal perspective, observation, and interpretation as a marketer. If you have questions, comments, or feedback, I really do hope you find this video helpful. And like I said, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the chat below or reach out to me via Instagram.